Do you ever feel like you're chasing a ghost? A perfect, all-consuming love that seems to exist everywhere in movies and books, but nowhere in your actual life. It's that feeling, that gap between the fantasy and the reality, that we're diving into today. Why does true love feel so much like a myth? Let's start with something we all consume: media. Think about your favorite romantic comedy. Boy meets girl, there's some witty banter, a dramatic conflict, and then a grand, sweeping gesture in the rain that solves everything. They kiss, the credits roll, and we're left with this warm, fuzzy feeling that love is just one dramatic airport runaway. But here's the thing: real life doesn't have a scriptwriter. Real relationships don't end when the credits roll. That's where they begin. The media we love so much often shows us the highlight reel of romance, the intoxicating beginning, but it rarely shows the day-to-day work. It doesn't show the arguments over whose turn it is to take out the trash, the silent treatments, or the quiet, difficult conversations it takes to truly understand another person. We're fed a diet of grand gestures, but real love is often built on 1,000 tiny, unseen moments of consistency and care. This constant exposure to picture-perfect love stories can set us up for disappointment. We start measuring our own relationships against these fictional benchmarks, and they almost always fall short. We start wondering, is this it? Shouldn't there be more passion, more drama? This comparison game is a trap. It can make a perfectly good, healthy relationship feel boring or inadequate, simply because it doesn't look like a Hollywood blockbuster. And for women, there's often an added layer of pressure. From a young age, many are taught through fairy tales and societal norms that finding a Prince Charming is the ultimate life goal. The narrative is that you must be desirable, accommodating and patient, waiting to be chosen or rescued. This puts immense pressure on women to live up to a certain romantic ideal, to be the perfect girlfriend or wife. It also puts pressure on men to be the flawless, heroic prince. Society tells us that love should complete us, that finding the one will solve all our problems. But love isn't a magical fix. A healthy relationship is about two whole individuals choosing to build a life together, not two halves trying to make a whole. When we internalize this idea that we need a partner to be complete, we can lose sight of our own identity, our own goals, and our own happiness. We might start making compromises that aren't healthy, or stay in situations that aren't right for us, all because we're afraid of deviating from this prescribed romantic path. The pressure to conform is real, and it can be a heavy weight to carry, distorting our view of what a truly loving partnership should feel like. It should feel like an expansion of your world, not a limitation. So with all these perfect stories floating around, it's no wonder so many of us start to believe that true, lasting love is just a myth. We see relationships around us ending, we experience heartbreak, and we compare our messy reality to the flawless fiction. It becomes easy to get cynical and think, well, that kind of love just doesn't exist for me. But maybe the problem isn't that true love is a myth. Maybe the problem is our definition of it. True love isn't a constant state of euphoric bliss. It's not about finding someone who ticks every single box and never ever annoys you. That's the myth. True, tangible love is something else entirely. It's choosing to see the good in someone on their worst day. It's the commitment to communicate, even when it's hard. It's the quiet comfort of knowing someone has your back no matter what. It's forgiveness. It's patience. It's the hard work of growing together instead of apart. It's messy and imperfect and sometimes frustrating, but it's also real and grounding and deeply rewarding. So true love isn't a myth, but the idealized version we've been sold certainly is. Letting go of the myth is the first step to finding something real. Let's talk about the specific influence of romance fiction. I know so many people who are avid readers of romance novels, and there's nothing wrong with that. They're fun, they're escapist, and they can be a great way to unwind. But, just like with movies, it's crucial to separate the fantasy from reality. These books are designed to create an intense emotional high. The heroes are often impossibly perfect. Billionaires with hearts of gold, brooding bad boys who are secretly sensitive poets, all devoted to one woman with an all-consuming passion. It's a powerful fantasy. The problem arises when these fictional characters and plot lines start to become our blueprint for real-life romance. We might start looking for that same level of intensity, that same unwavering devotion in a real partner. But real people are flawed. They have bad days, they have insecurities, and they can't read your mind. If you're constantly waiting for your partner to live up to the standard of a fictional hero, you're setting both of you up for failure. It can breed resentment and make you feel perpetually dissatisfied. Enjoy the fantasy for what it is, an escape. But when you close the book, remember to embrace the beautiful, imperfect reality of love with a real, flawed, and wonderful human being. This brings us to one of the most complex and damaging aspects of modern relationships: deceptive communication, or sometimes a total lack of it. In a world where we're chasing an ideal, we often become afraid to show our true selves. We're scared that if our partner saw our insecurities, our fears, or our less than perfect qualities, they would leave. So what do? We play games. We pretend to be less interested than we are to maintain a sense of power. We drop subtle, passive-aggressive hints instead of stating our needs clearly. We say, "I'm fine," when we are absolutely, definitely not fine. This is a form of deception. It creates a disconnect. You can't build a genuine connection with someone if you're both wearing masks. True intimacy is built on vulnerability, the courage to say, "This is who I am, flaws and all. This is what I need. This is what scares me." It's terrifying, because it means you could get rejected. But it's also the only way to find out if the connection is real. A relationship built on hints, assumptions, and unspoken expectations is a house of cards. It's fragile and destined to collapse. Honest, direct communication is the foundation of a love that can actually last. It's not always romantic, and it's certainly not always easy, but it's essential. So how do we break free from these cycles and find something genuine? The first step is awareness. Recognize the influence of media and societal pressure on your expectations. When you watch a movie or read a book, consciously remind yourself, "This is a story. It's not a manual for my life." The second step is self-love and self-completion. You are not a half waiting for another half. You are a whole person. Invest in your own happiness, your own goals, your own friendships. When you love your own life, you won't need someone else to complete it. You'll want someone to share it with. This shifts the dynamic from neediness to choice, which is so much more powerful. Finally, practice vulnerability and honest communication. Start small. Instead of saying, "I'm fine," try saying, "I'm feeling a little stressed today, can we talk about it later?" Instead of expecting your partner to be a mind reader, state your needs clearly and kindly. It will feel uncomfortable at first, but it builds a foundation of trust and true understanding that no grand gesture can ever replace. Letting go of the fairy tale doesn't mean giving up on love. It means opening yourself up to a love that is real, sustainable, and so much more meaningful than any fantasy. It's about finding the magic in the mundane, the romance in the real, and the love in the everyday effort. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today, exploring these complex ideas. I hope this gave you some food for thought. If this resonated with you, please give this video a thumbs up. And I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What are some of the most unrealistic romantic ideals you've encountered? Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next conversation. Until next time, be kind to yourself and each other.